Alright, welcome to the stream. This week we'll be working on another small scale project. This one will be a personalized Porg. So first we have to actually make a shape for the Porg to cut out of wood and then add some additional details. And we'll get into what those are. And here we go. Why we're adding them. Alright, so here's the screen. And here is a couple of sample images I started out with. Where is my toolbox? There it is. Ugh, damn you, Windows 10. Okay. So, we have two versions, because I want sort of this body shape, but this face. Now the reason I want this face is because I have more space around it, because I'm going to be adding some little accessories to it. See, there's a fella out there who just got off the business end of a really ridiculous lawsuit, and he likes Porgs, and I thought I should do something nice for this guy. So I'm making this this here custom wooden Porg. So, for starters, you have to get the body down. So let's make a new layer. And we want the body in black. So we're gonna go ahead and bring up the opacity on this layer so we can see exactly what we got here. Alright, so basically just want this whole shape here. So we'll just turn the threshold up on this a little bit, just until this is clear when we select white. Alright, once this whole little dot here is included, I would consider it a high enough threshold to cut out the shape we want. Alright, there we go. I think that should do it. So that'll be our basic Porg shape, so we'll just delete that. Select, invert, go to our top layer, we want black, boom. And we've already got our basic Porg shape to cut out of wood. If we wanted to just make a Porg and then paint it by hand without having any, any of the eyes outlined and, cut out so that you could have an easier time painting them the right shape. If you just wanted a flat piece, we're already done. You pop it into Inkscape, you convert it to an SVG, you put it in the shaper, cut it out, good to go. We're going to take this a few steps further though. So we want that Porg shape, this Porg face. So I'm going to go ahead, reduce the opacity here. We gotta find a way to incorporate a few things here. So first off, I want to select none. I want to separate the head from the body, first of all. The reason I want to do that is because I'm going to be adding details to the face. and those are going to be raised. So we need the head to be lowered and the body to stick out. So now the trick is to find exactly how to divide that so it'll actually look nice. So take the original one. Okay, so here's the head. So we would go like this. All right. We can make that a little smoother though. We don't want that to be too chunky. I have too spiky rather. So we're just gonna include that. Maybe throw that in there. So just gonna shift click to select a little more of it. That's our head. So this will get its own shape. And there. And we need that layer. So delete layer. So now we have a separate head, separate body. That way when they're separate shapes on the shaper, we can actually pocket the head out by itself. Then cut the whole shape out as one big outline because we'll actually have the combined shape as well underneath them. We'll get to how all that's going to work later. So now that we have the head separate, we can drop this out, lower opacity again on the head, and then start adding details to cut out. So we'll have to get another layer, and we'll do those in white. So what we want is when we cut it out with the shaper, like with the dog, we want the eye to basically be one big hole so that when you do an outside cut on this shape, it just goes in a line and leaves a separated out eye on each side. So you want the whole thing removed from this shape. So let's actually bring up the dog to show you what I mean. That's too dark. Hold on. Yeah. What is it doing? Damn you, Microsoft. Go away. No one asked it. Okay, there we go. So see, here this whole area is white, it's cut out, it's missing. So the shaper just made a line around this. So we want the eyes to basically be like that, not so much like that. So, oh, hold on. Let's get actually, I don't need to go on what I'm going to do is I'm just going to straight cut it out. Well, no. Yeah, it's better to draw it on first. It's better to draw it on first because if you don't like it, you can still fix it afterwards before you actually cut it out of the shape below. So I'm just going to go here. What are you doing? Okay, let's zoom in a little. Okay. That's a little too big of a pen though, so we'll just shrink it down. Alright, that's one eye on the Porg. That's 2 eyes on the Porg. Okay. Shrink our pen down a little more. What are you doing? There we go. Cut it out. And, alright. And we do also have to worry about the minimum width of the shaper. The thinnest points on this can't be anything smaller than 1/8 of an inch, or it's just not going to cut, because I don't have thinner bits, so we have to sort of fill these out pretty well. I can't make details that are too fine with the bit that I have. So, and I just made that a little too long, so there we go, we undo it. And then I like those as they are, so we'll just select, bam, delete, hide, and our Porg is currently wearing a GIMP mask. That's what it looks like. A Porg in a GIMP mask. This is a fetish Porg. Okay. So now we just play Comanche by the Revels. And then Bruce Willis grabs a sword, etc., etc., and we're good to go. Bring out the Porg. Porg's sleeping. Wake him up. Alright. Yeah, that is very disturbing. That is the stuff of nightmares. I apologize in advance for this. I'm just as disgusted as you are. This is horrible. I don't know. This, it just don't look right. So, let's get a zipper in there, you know. Really. Yeah, if we're gonna do a GIMP Porg, then should really draw a GIMP Porg. So let's get a zipper. Come on, what are you doing? This thing is acting up on me. And there we go. Come on! Stop lagging. Come on! What is it doing? It's just... There we go. There we go. And we have our GIMP Porg. You can enjoy that image. You can, you know, burn it into your memory. Have nightmares for the next few weeks. You know, really make the most of having witnessed this. Anyway, enough tomfoolery. Let's save for now, because this is our base. Alright, so let's find the appropriate folder here. 5. Porg base. Okay. Now let's save as. And we'll call this one, for the digital cyber demon that I'm making this for, Porg Cyber Demon. Now you might be asking, what would a Porg Cyber Demon look like? Well, it would look like this, but with glasses. Literally just that. Alright. So let's get to work on those. So we got the face for for pocketing. So this will be slightly lower than the body. We got then the eyes we'll leave alone so that they'll just stand up, out, and be raised. We won't cut here or here. And so when it comes to the glasses, I'm gonna need to simultaneously make them higher and lower in a way. You'll understand what I mean in a second. So I need, So I need to expand this out, right? So let's just do a quick sketch here, just to show what I'm talking about. So I need, let's get a different layer to do that on, so I can delete it after. So I need it to look like this, so that they have a place to go, right? And then I need the whole thing sort of hold on, that white again. Because I want to cut around them when pocketing the head so that they're raised, like so, and the head is lowered, so I need it to be like that. Like that, right? Something like that, right? Roughly. But then, so I need to do, so I need it to be so that the whole shape, that is the one that's the combined shape of the head and the body, will include this black here for the glasses, but this will be cut out of the head by itself. So I'm basically going to be layering at any given point 2 shapes over each other for a total of 3 shapes, though. So it'll be the head, the body, and the hole. And the hole will be behind the head and the body, slightly larger. That way I can separate them out from each other, and then I just do an offset. I just do a negative offset when cutting it. So the face will be a pocket, and that's how I'll cut out all the face details. And then I actually don't need the body piece. I can actually delete this later. I only need 2. I'll just need the separate face for pocketing the face details, and then the whole shape to just cut the whole thing out in one go. I can't imagine needing anything else besides that. So the whole body will include the complete form will include the outline of the glasses so that they get cut out. But the face shape by itself will exclude them so that when it's pocketed, it'll pocket around them and they'll stick out. Same with the eyes. And then as for here, when I get to this point, I change it from pocket to outside cut, the face, and then I just bore out the nostrils and the mouth a little bit. I won't go all the way. Now, so the issue here becomes and then there's, of course, facial hair that has to get in there. This isn't really working, though, too well. Hold on.
Please clap. Jeb Bush is the Frieza of the...
Hold on. Ignore that. It'll pass.
Live.
Alright. So, thinking, how do I solve this problem? I'll need a separate layer for this shape, and I'll have to copy them all, join them, etc. to a single shape. Then I have to line the head up. This is going to be a mess. Alright. To somehow fit facial hair in there so that it gets cut around. So yeah. I can't imagine this coming out good. I think this whole concept might have been a bit of a mistake. I think I'm biting off more than I could chew here with this. But I don't know. We'll see. I wish that GIMP would stop doing this thing, though, with the little circle thing. Like, oh, you gotta wait. No, I don't. Fuck you. You gotta wait. Bite me. Bite me, bro. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Alright. So, I'm just drawing in some face details. And then what I'm going to actually do is undo a lot of stuff real quick. Just temporarily. I need to copy layer. Whatever. Redo it. That's our main shape there. Okay, so back to here. So, come on! Stupid GIMP. Every time I touch the pen to the screen, it freezes. Alright. And then so this shape is actually pretty good, so I kind of want to keep it the way it is. So I just want to select And then take that, flip it horizontal. Really? Alright, and then take that and there. This is getting to be a bit of a mess. So anyway, now we take that, that, and that, and we cut it out of here. Select none. So that's our head. That's going to be interesting to cut out. And all the black is where we're going to pocket. Well, not so much all this black, but all this black here, and here, and here, and here is where we're going to pocket. Then, so we're going to have to actually fill in the upper lip here a bit, so that it can actually be pocketed, because it needs to be at least 1/8 of an inch wide at any point. So now, where it's cut out no longer matters so much. What matters is that where it's black is at least... Come on! What are you doing? What is that? Stop! Okay. What matters is that there's at least 1/8 of an inch thickness here. Okay, so it'll probably stop. Come on. There, about. And we'll lose that little point, but that's whatever. So we'll have to fill in here, though. Come on, what are you doing? Every time. Are you seeing the little circle thing coming up? It's ridiculous. Pissing me off. Come on. Gimp is acting weird today. Okay. So that means we gotta... Maybe fill in the mouth. And then add a separate... No. So do you want to cut inside the mouth? We do want to cut inside the nostrils. The trouble here now is I want to pocket this whole thing around the glasses, right? So I want to go here. And I want to go here. And then I'm going to have to create a separate shape for the 2 nostrils so that the shaper can get in there and cut them out. What are you doing? Alright. Alright, so this is all the stuff that has to be pocketed. And then here's the line where we'll just cut between the beard and the body. And then separately we'll add in post in Inkscape. Okay, so now we got this guy. So this guy, we want to grow him out a little bit. Cancel. Alpha to selection. Yeah, that way we know it's centered. fill that in. Okay. Wait. Shit. Hold on. Yeah. So first, let's just... And then go here and add that in. Now we select grow for delete to clear it, fill it in, boom. Okay, now we've got a full body to cut. And it's a little wider than the rest of the shape. That way, when the time comes, we do a negative offset to cut in, so that we cut tightly around all the details. So we'll pocket this out, pocket this out, pocket this out, and this and this. Here. So we pocket all these pockets out. Then when we cut the actual shape, as you can see by the selection, it'll be a little tighter though, because we're going to do negative offset. This will all be out of the way, because it'll also be negative offset, because the offset is a global setting rather than per shape. So this line will be, clear. Be clear where it is and that we're on the correct line. We just start cutting. Cut the whole thing out. If you pocket out the details. So should save that and start moving it into Inkscape. So select none. Okay, Control C, Control V. Alright. GIMP layer. Control C, Control V. And it is not lined up correctly at all. Fantastic. Just what I want. So we'll make it red. Bring it to the top. Great. Would have been nice if things saved alignment. Okay. So we'll just put that here for now, make it red. Path, trace bitmap, so we're going to have to manually make that blue for now, just so that they stand out from each other. Delete these. We're going to have to manually align things now. Isn't that fun? Yeah, it looks pretty good already, actually. But no, it's not good. Alright, so let's get an idea. Here of what it should look like. Okay, so this needs to dip below. That needs to be okay. It's gonna look like that. So let's use that as a reference. I'll move it over here so I can see. And it actually does look pretty close then in that case. Yeah. I think that should do it. So now we'll make this 27, 127, 127. Make this black. Boom. And we got it. We got our shape. So now we pocket out the details for the face. All of these things will be raised. Then we'll switch it to an outside cut to cut the mouth out. And then we'll move to this outside cut, set a negative offset so it wraps tightly around the face details. Cut the whole thing out. All I need now is one more layer of nostril holes to cut separately from the pocket without detracting from the width of the pocket, because I need them here about. And if I were to actually cut it out of the pocket shape itself, then the gray here would be too thin here and here, and the shaper would just not cut there. And I needed to cut there, so the holes will have to be their own layer. Once I have the nostril holes in place, we're done. 40 minutes to design this. Alright. So I'm just gonna get a pen tool here, pencil, something. Oh, oops. Maybe deform a circle? Yeah, I'll deform a circle. So let's rotate. Let's set that to 15. Nah. Yeah. And then Control D. And just boom. And we're good to go. I'd say that's our Porg. Ready for the cutting. Alright. Alright, simple custom. There we go, a digital cyber demon Porg. So, that's it. See you Thursday for the cutting. And let's turn this off now.